You know that feeling when you feel that something is coming, but you don't know what it is? But you know it's coming, but you don't know what it is. That is nature. It is more like when naturally you find yourself in a position where you want something but you are taught not to have it. And that is the difference that I want us to do today. And then before we do those particular differences, let us open with the word of the Lord and ask Lord to bless Africa. May your glory be lifted high. Hear our prayers. Lord, bless us, your children. Lord, we ask you to protect our nation, intervene and end all conflicts. Protect us, protect our nation, protect South Africa. South Africa, from the blue of our skies, from the depths of our seas, over our everlasting mountains, where the echoing cracks resound. I sound the call to come together, and united we shall stand. Let us live and enjoy freedom in the universe, our home. Today we are going to talk about nature. It is in your nature to use your legs to work from one point to the other. It is also in your nature to use your legs and do what you do with them. And it is in our nature to be taught by our parents and to believe in what our parents teaches us. It is indeed in our nature, and having such a nature, you need to understand these realities. And once you start understanding these realities, you will understand that there is nothing that any other person can do but to understand what really the issue is. I give you this thing. Take it this way. What I say to you now, you must teach it to your children's children. Don't be shy of teaching them that particular reality. And in teaching them the reality, you have to come to the reality where you have to be honest with nature. Naturally, we are ignorant to our own self. We tend to follow our teachings and we live by our teachings but then ignore our own self, and that's where our own power lies. Having such power, you would understand that we have a reality where people do other things that they know very well they should not do. And they get glory out of that in the name of other people. And when you ask them why you do that, it's simply because they do it simply because they can. And yes, you can do things because you can, but then we have an element of humanity We have the element of the spirit of Ubuntu. We have the elements that defines us as people. And when we are defined as people, we will do the things that must be done in accordance to our respective definitions. And when we follow our respective definitions, we must and have to be true to ourselves in our existence. We are taught as men to say no. Have one woman. But your nature tells you otherwise. Let's be honest, good people. And these pieces of our lady friends, and they say, no, if you do it, I am also going to do it. And they forget the fundamental reality that we are not the same. We don't have the same duty. We don't have the same responsibilities in life. You need to understand that in order for a man to take care of the garden, you need to understand the garden. And when you understand this garden, you will understand the reality that each and every woman is raised being told that you will have your own family, you will have your own children. Tell me which woman is told that you will not have your own family, you will not have your own children. Any. Tell me which one. And now when you sit and you look at the reality of our daily lives and then the reality of our statistics as men, we are fewer than women. And if I am to make it simple for you, the Bible says, gives you the ratio of 7:1. But for mathematics sakes and simplicity's sakes, I will take a different perspective and turn in this reality. That different perspective and turn will focus on, let me give you a simple example and say today 100 ladies were born. That is nature. It's like that. And in the same community, we're taking a population sample. And 20 guys were born. It is nature, it is always like that. Can even look in New Year when they announce how many New Year children were born. Ladies are generally more than men. It is the truth. Same applies to Christmas or any other day that you can decide to take statistics in relation to the birth of the ratio of ladies to men. Now, you are taught that out of these 100 ladies, as a man, you must take one of them. Do you see what nature does to the teachings? They defeat each other. And that's why we fight. Because when 20 guys take 20 ladies, you are left with the reality of 80 ladies being unattended. And all of those 80 ladies are told that, hey, you are going to have a husband, you are going to have your children, you are going to have your own house. Nature and teachings. Teachings and nature. It will then be without argument that if we were to follow nature, one guy would have 5 ladies. And if it's 5 ladies, multiply them by 20, it's 20, 40, 60, 80, 100 ladies. And then all 100 ladies have fulfilled their promise. And that would mean that one guy will have to attend to 5 ladies. I have told you that in the Bible it says 7 ladies. It is like that. That is nature. But our teachings says be with one. And the very same teaching, it gets to be confused to the very same 100 ladies that no, you are going to be with one man. But because they don't hear, they don't understand that no, but we are equal, ne? We are ladies, we are equally, and then this one here, he wants to be sleeping with all others. No, I'm not going to allow it to happen. I'm not going to allow it to happen. And that's where conflict comes into play. While the reality is, nature dictates for it to happen. I'm not saying this out of context of the realities of each and everyone else's life. I'm saying it in the context of nature and the teachings that we have taught, that we received. There's an imbalance, and I must balance this particular equation. So, to add salt to injury, they take men, they put them to jail. At jail, those particular men, they are there in jail without trial. And that is the reality. They are in jail without trial, and having to be in jail without trial, it reduces the number of men in the 20 that is available. Now you all of a sudden, in a large scale, have 17 people. And we also have to take into the reality of the behavior of other men, their preference, and also take into the reality the behavior of other women and their actual preference. But I will get to the preference of ladies in times to come. With this reality, you find us having to be in a position where we can't do the things that we must do. We can't do the things that nature intended to be done. And because we fail to understand the intentions of nature, we then fight and then end up killing each other. The reality is that a man will not be with one woman when nature is answered. You may have been taught, you may have done everything in your power to say, yeah, I'm taught to be with one woman, but you have that edge, you have that animal in you, you have that monster in you that causes you to look and want. And it's not that because you are looking and wanting, it is because you are wanted. So you need to understand these particular things. You are wanted, and you being wanted, it then becomes an issue of, how do we get him? What must we do to get him? Because he is gotten by one of us, and then we are left out. If all things were to balance. And a lady would want to do same. And I would say quickly to them, listen, I as a guy, I can sleep with 3 ladies, 4 ladies, or 5 of you. Let's make it 5. All 5 of you, you sleep with Sylvester, Bolane Mangolele, Kiyo. You get pregnant, you get pregnant, you get pregnant, you get pregnant, you get pregnant. All this happens in one day. I slept with all of you in one day. All of you will be pregnant as ladies. Who will be the father? The father will be Sylvester Bolane Mangolele. And I urge you as a lady to go do same. You sleep with 5 guys, as equally as I have slept with 5 ladies. You will be pregnant as one lady, but you will not know who is the father out of the 5, given the reality that the deed happened in one day. And you need to understand that the ladies when you are pregnant, not knowing who the father is, you will be coming to me as a man, causing me to raise a child of another man. But you, as ladies who understands that we are 5 of us connected to one man, and you will understand that all 5 of you are sitting in your 5 respective places with your 5 respective pregnancies. This one will not come and live with this one because of their pregnancy, and this one will not come and live with this one because of their pregnant, this one, and so forth. But when I, as a woman, you will come and live with me because you are pregnant with another man's child. That's where everything else falls. That's where the devil catches us all. But when you sit and you follow this concept of one guy having 5 ladies, all these ladies will be jealous of one another, because it is a nature of ladies to be jealous. Question is, where is the jealousy being directed to? And if the jealousy is directed to the wrong direction, it ends up killing, it ends up doing other things that do not build this one man. There is this other type of jealousy. It manifests itself through what you do and all those things. It's like, for example, you are a woman, you say, hey, today he's with me. I'm going to make sure that, yay, when he leaves here, he remembers me. Because I'm jealous of others. They will catch him tomorrow and then he will forget me, but I'm going to make sure that he remembers me. And that ultimately makes the man happy. And you must understand it to be true. The number one need of a man is sex, because it's the man who carries the seed. It is the man who must reproduce. So, man does not want sex. They need sex. A car does not want petrol. It needs petrol. Man does not want sex. They need sex. It is like that. It is nature of men. Men are animal. All of them. They love sex. That is why you see everybody in the world. If it was not because of sex, nobody would be in the world. That's self-evident. So, nature intended for a man not to live alone with one woman. One woman, when you live with a man who does not have another woman, 8 out of 10 times you get very bored of this particular person, and you start fighting with this person without knowing why you're fighting with him, because there's no competition of jealousy, and that button of your jealousy is not activated as it should, or as it naturally should be activated. So, good people, I want you to understand the difference between the nature and the teaching. It is natural for a man to be looking at other women without him wanting to look at other women. I'm not defending men. I'm not saying that they are what. It is like that. But your teaching as a woman then clashes and becomes opposite to this particular man, to say, no, where now you are disrespecting me or anything like that. It is not an issue of that. In fact, as a woman, you should be glad to have a man who is loyal to you and who comes to your bed every day regardless. Because the nature of man is that he cannot sleep in one bed every day. It is true. And when nature calls at times, you are forced to answer the call, even though the teachings tells you otherwise and what and what. And once you understand that, you will understand the reality and nature of men and their ability and any other thing that makes up men. Some of you will say what I'm saying is ridiculous. However, it is not. It is the truth that our mother and father were taking more than one wife. It is the truth that such was our African norm, and is today our African norm still. We want to impair our Africanness with Westernness. It is correct that us as African men are not as sexually active as other creeds in the world. We are different. We are a different breed. We do things differently. We have stamina. We have speed. We have the nature of Africa that makes us Africans, to make us perform the way we perform. So, the reality is that an African man or any other man is naturally ingrained with that particular DNA of not having to be with one person. And I applaud humbly any other man who has remained loyal to that one other person, and say to that man, it was 20 of you, it was 100 of them, 20 of you got 20 women. What happened to the 80? What happened to their life's promise? I don't ask you to be malicious to any other person or violate any other person or just start jumping up and down. I'm just only asking you to consider it in your head. What happens? And when you understand what must happen, you will understand the reality that we are born to be lovers, we are born to be free. Love is what we need. Oh brother, we keep faith in you. Love is what we need. Love is what we need, and love is what we must give. You understand? Please. I need you guys to know it to be true that I am your people, you are my people. And then as my people, or as your people, I need you and you need me to show each other the way. I cannot do it alone. I need all of you. And understand it to be true that when I call for you for help, I mean help me. I don't ask you to put me aside and think that I'm not doing anything to solicit all that was taken away from me. So, understand nature, understand teachings. And when you have the power to unite nature and teachings, you will have harmony in your life. You will be forever blessed without fail. There is power in knowing. There is power in understanding. There is power in togetherness. Unity is indeed power. And without each other, we cannot prosper as a nation. I call upon you to understand the reality between words that have meaning as we have meaning. Let those with an ear hear the word Papa O Teng. God bless you.